Which is the best bus stop for me to get off for the Inner Harbour?
You want to go to the Inner Harbour?
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah, Douglas and Fort. In front of the base center, and you're about 3 blocks down.
Otherwise, you turn uphill.
I turn up. I just go to Blanchard and Fairfield.
Thank you.
Downtown.
I'm walking downtown to see Holly and Larry and Gracie. They've just come in off a successful road trip. And I believe that Holly has just finished her 15th marathon. Last time I saw her in vivo, I think she was on her, I don't know, I'll have to ask Larry. Walking down to the Inner Harbour now. The Coho is the ferry from Port Angeles, Washington to Victoria, BC. I'm just taking a picture here. Hello, people.
Meeting you here.
Well, it's fortuitous that we're here. Is this Gracie?
Yes, Gracie.
Oh. Put your passport away. Larry?
How you doing?
Oh, brother. Oh. And Holly?
Yeah.
Sister? Sister. Oh, I love you speaking running.
I was running my feet
Last
off.
time I saw you, you just ran away from me.
Doesn't look familiar, not a blur, huh?
All right. And Larry and I was standing on the corner of Cook and Dallas Road, going, Holy, holy, holy. You must have thought, who is this bad man? You're getting used to it. If we keep on the low path here, we're going to go all the way around there, and then we can go in and have our lunch.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. How was your trip, by the way?
Oh, this was a little rough. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the wind is quite strong, and that is a very...
Top.
Oh, dear. I hope you're not sick.
Come
see, come ça.
Once I got outside, I felt a lot better.
Larry's the same as ever. You're smaller than I thought. Because, as I say, whenever I see people running, they always look so much bigger.
Oh. Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because they're jumping into the air.
Bigger back then.
Or maybe because I'm sitting down. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Listen, I'm going to be recording audio at some stage today. Probably most of the day. And then I'll probably edit.
Okay.
All right. But I will try and edit us all in the best light. You, me, Larry, and Gracie, if that's possible. But, no F-bombs, please.
Okay.
Save the F-bombs for when we're somewhere where we can drop F-bombs, if we need to. But it sounds like you had a good experience at the, what is it called again? The North Olympic?
Let's see, North Olympic Discovery Marathon.
That's right.
And actually, yeah, that. It went pretty good. It was a little. I would prefer more runners in the pack.
Larry, can we stop for a second? All right. I'm just curious. When you got to the ferry terminal,
Mm-hmm.
I've done the Coho twice now. Once
Okay.
I went over it with a car.
Mm-hmm.
Second time I went over as a foot passenger. But when you get to the ferry terminal, did the race go out and back from the ferry terminal? Or did they take you out?
No, what we did was
You just ended there.
we started in Blinn at the casino and
Oh.
ran to.
Did you go through Squim?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I've never been there.
But it's all the race is mostly all on a bike path.
Yeah.
So
No,
you-
I've done it because I cycled from when I got off at Port Angeles. I cycled to Seattle to see my son.
Oh, okay.
So I done that ferry that you did. The
Okay.
what's it called? The Bainbridge Island ferry? No, it's one of those ferries that takes
Yeah.
you across.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when I saw that picture of you and Gracie, I figured I've been on that ferry.
Yes.
But I was
yeah.
going the other way.
Okay.
So where is your vehicle?
It's parked at Port Angeles, just right next to the
ferry
Coho
terminal?
dock. Yeah. Yeah.
And how are you feeling about walking a couple of K today? You're okay with that?
Good. It's
Oh,
all
you should have to go.
You're the one with sore legs. I have a little bit of an injury myself. What happened? I don't know if you heard about my eye surgery. but
Yes,
I had
yeah.
the cataract
Yeah.
surgery, and the doctor said no running because we don't want you banging your head on anything
Yeah.
until the lens has
Yeah.
knitted to
Yeah.
the tissue.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, I can put up with 10 days of no running. It's not going to kill me. I had to spend about 3 months on crutches, so I know what that's like. But the funny thing is, if you have a long-term plan,
Uh-huh.
these minor setbacks are only that, a very minor
Yeah.
setback. In the big picture,
Yeah.
my long-term goal is to be running when I'm 90.
Okay.
So I've got a long way to go
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. There you go.
So if the doctor says no running, it's not because I don't want to run anymore. It's not because I gave up. It's because
Yeah.
it's good for me not to bang my head on the ground.
Yes. That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing.
That's always.
Well, I had a grand plan for last year in the summer to raise my mileage and get more under my feet, but when I did something to the muscle on my left side, I could hardly walk.
Oh my goodness.
And the physical therapist and the massage therapist said, run whenever you feel you're ready.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it took me a while to relearn to lose the muscle.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
had to. The summer was much more low.
Did you
mileage.
have anything like a weight issue to deal with when you went off running for a while, or
No.
have you always been lean?
No, I haven't always been lean,
No.
but I have
That
gotten.
surprises me.
I've gotten very good at when I'm not running. I don't have an appetite.
I'm a bit like that. I get a little anorexic at times.
I don't have that problem.
I would say,
Right.
I don't really need to eat too much today.
Yeah.
I'll have a sandwich, see how it goes after that. And then
Yeah.
I get distracted.
Oh, yeah. That I see too.
Yeah, coffee and beer and stuff like
And
that.
then it's evening and it's.
I saw these
haven't
guys
eaten.
earlier on today. Hello. Have you done this little walk before?
I think so.
Yeah.
When we were here for the marathon, we walked quite a bit that week.
The marathon started up there on the upper
Yeah.
level, in
Yeah.
front of the Empress.
Yeah.
I seem to remember. That was when I first met Larry.
Yeah.
Was that last year or the year before?
Year before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yes, it has.
And when I saw you then, what marathon were you on?
That was the third.
Wow. I should have remembered. I probably did. Larry probably told me that it was your third. And you know what he said? I said to him, she seems to like marathoning. And he says, yeah, she does. She seems to be quite obsessed with them. So 2 years later, you're now up to
15. Yesterday was 15.
I thought yesterday might have been the start. 16 would be the end. Anyway. Well, I feel honored that you came all the way over from your side of the pond
Yes.
to my side of the pond.
Yeah, this is
You
fun.
know, it's a pleasure being over here.
Yeah.
And I've kept telling her, I said,
We're very friendly people, as a
you
rule.
got to talk to Carlos in person. It's time to talk in person.
Yeah. It's always better when you can see face to face. Like I was saying on our messages this morning, why waste your batteries on your phone?
That's right.
And luckily enough, what happened, I was using a voice recorder earlier on, and for some reason it crapped out on me. Whenever I put on press to play record, it said hold. I thought, oh well, easy, take the batteries out, put them back in again, that should do it. Didn't work. I think it got damp, and I think it's locked itself. But the one thing is, there's already 6 files on there before I even spoke to you guys.
Okay.
So I can just make about a 5-minute introduction to this wonderful meeting of ours. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you any silly questions, but what got you into running? That's not a silly question. That's a very pertinent question.
It was a weird kind of thing. I started as I was getting older. I read that if you add 2 minutes of running to every mile that you walk, it helps build your bone strength.
That's
So
good.
that's what I did. I started
But at what age? If you don't mind me saying.
49.
Okay, I started about 45, so we're both late bloomers, basically.
Yeah.
But it kind of got to the point where 2 minutes of running was too easy.
Yeah.
So I started adding the 2 minutes of running after every half mile.
I guess we're lucky being small-boned. We don't have as much effort to move ourselves.
That's
So we're not using as many calories to do the same distance.
But just to throw something in, a thought.
A thought from Larry.
We talk about this.
Yeah.
A tall person running.
It's got longer legs.
Well, if you think of over a marathon, say a tall person takes 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
A smaller person is going to take
1,200.
Is that exerting something
12,000.
extra?
I guess it depends how efficiently they are mechanically.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, you are going to take more steps. So.
Well, cadence is very important for finishing a marathon quickly, and that's probably why you finished this one quicker, because you were taking shorter steps.
Yeah.
When it's a long, flat course, you tend to stride out, but when it's going up and down, you're varying your pace.
Yeah, that's true.
I do about a 0.82 of a meter each time I stride when I'm jogging, because I never really run hard anymore, so it's less than a meter. So if I do a 5K, I've done about 5,500 steps to do 5K. But Holly, I don't know. Her cadence is probably.
Yeah.
Her legs are short.
Yeah.
It might be 750.
Yeah.
3/4 of a meter each time you stride.
Yeah.
Do you wear a running watch or a GPS or anything like that?
Yeah.
And does it have all the data that you possibly want, or is it just a sort of a basic model?
It has more data than I know how to use.
More data than you could shake a stick at.
Well, when I take it off the watch and put it on the computer, it does have a cadence bar on it with all these little colored dots, and I don't have any idea what all those colored dots mean.
Can you smell the kerosene from those float planes?
Yep.
That reminds me of when I was a kid.
Oh.
My parents used to put a kerosene heater in the bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Burning, all night. We were breathing that.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe that's why I'm so small.
Maybe. Yeah.
It stunted my growth and made my hair fall out. Too much petrochemicals as a young man.
Yeah.
Anyway. But I'm really looking forward to my older years, let's put it that way.
Good.
I mean, I'm not young anymore.
Yeah, but that's good.
Gracie's the youngest here.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she doesn't say much, does she? She's obviously happy.
She seems to always be content wherever she is. Just the most. She rolls with everything.
The perfect traveling dog.
She just rolls with everything.
But is it because you want to take Gracie with you, or is it because you don't have a choice?
Oh, at this point we want to.
You do, okay, because
we
you could have a dog sitter. You could have a dog sitter.
And we do have one.
Yeah.
But she's kind of lost a lot of work lately.
Because you've been are you both retired?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So you don't have to worry about the job. You can just plan your lives around your running and Gracie's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes a nice since there's marathons in every corner of the continent.
Yeah.
And she can travel.
Yeah.
So,
but who does most of the driving when you're on the road? Larry?
When we do a long day, we try to switch off every hour.
You switch out?
Yeah.
So Larry does a bit of driving, you do a bit of driving?
Yeah. So it doesn't, but once we hit a city, like once we hit Calgary, he did all the driving around town.
Yeah, but once you're on the highway, you can share that boredom.
Yeah, and it keeps us both, it makes us stop for her.
Yeah.
To make sure she gets out so she just doesn't sit in the back seat for all day. I mean, she's so quiet, and she never pesters. She never tells us that I want something.
One of the options I was thinking of for us might be to take one of those little harbor boats. They do tours, and I asked them, they take you across the harbor to Fisherman's Wharf, and there's little kiosks and float homes and stuff like that over there. That would be a short hop across the bay, across the harbor. Another thing I was thinking of was a boat tour up the gorge and back.
Ooh.
It's like a slightly bigger launch than that. And I asked them if dogs were allowed on the boat. And they said only if the dog is under control and as long as there's nobody on the boat that objects to dogs.
Oh.
But, who knows what we're going to feel like. It's all down to you. You see how cute they are, those little boats?
Yeah.
They're open on the sides, and the dog has to stay on the bottom.
Okay.
And those things ferry you across the harbor. All that walking that we just did, it would take you 2 minutes by taking one of those. But I think it might be like $5 just to get across there. But the tour is worth doing, but maybe another year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're all going about on Holly's recovery rates.
I'm feeling fantastic. So.
Oh, that's good. You notice on the roof of that Harbour Airport, it's a green roof.
Oh.
I thought it was like a tapestry or a carpet of some sort, but they put in some plants to deal with the rain.
Okay,
and they've also got the solar panels.
Yeah.
Very ecological.
Yeah.
Other than the kerosene fumes.
Yeah, right.
That, they're doing great.
We're going to be going through Toronto, so I'm going to try to get Alan Drew.
Oh, Alan's one of my best friends. He is one of my best friends. And I've noticed he often responds to your thing. Oh, by the way, this thing is working again. It must have either got too hot in my pocket or too damp or something. Because there is a feature where you could, this is what I'm saying, you put on a long tail at the front and a long tail at the end. And then when you're ready, you get into the meat of the order. But the thing is to break the files up. If you break them up, then you don't have to search forever for where that, you could say, okay, take a bit off this end, a bit off that end. So, Alan Broom. He and I spent a holiday in Spain together.
Oh.
Talk about meeting your Facebook friend.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a Daily Mile friend. From Daily Mile, the website.
Oh.
Anyway, so Alan and I knew each other through Daily Mile.
Okay.
And then we found out that we both were on Facebook. And then, unfortunately, his partner died of brain cancer.
Yeah.
And that year, no, it was the year after that, I said to him, do you fancy going on holiday? We'll have a running holiday, you and me. We'll run in the mountains together. And he said, sure. We have never, ever even, all the negotiations were done on the messaging board of Daily Mile. I would send him a message and he would send me a message. I didn't know his phone number, I didn't know his real name. I didn't know anything. other than he said, sure, I'll meet you there. I'll be flying in from Charles de Gaulle from Paris on such and such a date. I'd been in Spain for about 3 weeks by then, so I'd set up the ground rules.
Yeah.
I got the fridge full of food, and, well, not full of food, but, yep.
Oh, my goodness.
We ran every morning and drank beer and ate in the afternoon.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And we've kept in touch. He came over a year after that and helped me out with my ultramarathon that I was organising, or helping with organising. He was a great runner. He still is. But he's run Boston a couple of times, and he's done Ironman. He's got an Ironman tattoo on his
my God.
on his leg.
And he's tall, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty tall.
I just saw that you had a photo of the two of you together.
Yeah, and you are smaller than me, girl. It'll be like organ pipes, like. And if Larry was there, he's a bit taller than me. Larry would be between Alan and I. Larry would be in between. And Gracie would be at the very end.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're going to go soon, if you like, Gracie. We'll go soon.
I told her we've got to take advantage when we go through parts of wherever.
Yeah. Just figure out where they live and then say, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. Shall we have a meetup?
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying that you got into marathons because you love running distances, but you're not too keen about all the hoopla that goes with busy marathons.
Actually, I like busy marathons too. It's hard to describe. I like the energy with the big.
But
crowd.
what about, which was your best marathon lately in terms of the one that you felt best about? Did you like Calgary? I think you like Calgary a fair bit.
Calgary was pretty good.
Is this one going to race this one, the Northern Olympic?
It's wow.
It was quicker than Calgary, and it was the same length as Calgary.
It was quicker than Calgary.
But it was a point to point. Do you think that made a difference?
You know what? That I think makes a difference.
It helps. Because so often with marathons, they send you around the block, and then you say, "Didn't we just come down this road the other way?" And then you go off and do another block. And you think,
I kind of like
I've seen this corner 3 times.
the ones where you it's kind of a Y shape where you go out and then, because you get to see people throughout
you get to
the
see
day.
the leaders coming back at
Yeah.
you. Otherwise, you never get to see the canyons.
That's right.
Gone again.
They
Eugene.
have a decent marathon that attracts people from all over, and it is kind of fun to be out. I haven't run it because I do a lot of running there anyway, so I'm not really interested in the marathon. But it is kind of nice to go out for a run in Eugene the weekend of the marathon because you see all these
the roads,
and you watch these people, these Kenyans run by, and they're just like a machine. Everything is so perfectly in line.
They have the right physique for it as well. Long legs, skinny bones,
Yeah, and they just
big chest,
and
like ostriches.
There's no flailing of their arms. There's no weird kicks to their feet. They are just.
A lot of people have told me that the Kenyans are always amazed how hard the North Americans train between races. The Kenyans train very, very easy most of the week, and then they get really serious and hit it hard once or twice a week, but not every day. And they always say, you train too fast, you slow down, train slower, race faster. Run slow, win easy. But they have an advantage as well. They probably weigh 120 pounds and they're 5'11" and 19 years old.
And they've been doing it for...
And they eat cornbread. Well, they do say that vegetarians recover quicker after exercise than meat eaters. The recovery time is supposed to be shorter for vegans. But the trouble is that how often, other than when you're at home, do you have to compromise your diet because you're on the road? And how often do you think, I should have had some more protein, but they didn't have anything good?
It's getting easier, and I always carry a protein mix, a powdered mix of protein powder that I can mix with water.
But what about, do you eat tofu cheese? Anything like that?
No, I don't. It's the fake cheeses and stuff to me seem over processed.
Yeah.
So I stick to like beans and lentils and tofu and.
My wife and you would enjoy cooking for each other. She does one of those, what do they call them, the crock pots with under pressure. It has like a pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And she puts in chickpeas, lentils, quinoa, rice. She cooks it in about 15 minutes under pressure on a timer, and then she puts it in the fridge. But I tend to cook more traditional food. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of person. But, you know, I'm an omnivore. If I found a good source of vegetable protein that I enjoyed, I would eat it. Another thing about one of the misconceptions is, do you have to eat more food in terms of volume to get the protein that you need from vegetables?
I don't think so.
It depends how dense they are
Yeah.
in nutrients.
I mean, a serving of beans,
It's pretty dense.
yeah. I mean, and it's small. It's like a half a cup. You know, it's not like a whole bowl full of beans.
It's not like you're eating a bale of straw
Yeah.
to get an egg's worth of protein.
Exactly, right.
So that's what I'm thinking. Do I need to fill my gut this much just to get what I need for one day's worth of protein? Probably not, because as you're saying, they're more condensed forms of vegetable protein that you could eat.
And in general, I think the American diet is way too heavy on protein anyway.
Possibly, and processed.
Yeah.
Over-processed food.
Yeah.
Anything that you have to open a packet to get at is probably to be avoided.
I mean, so if you're eating a whole food, I think your body uses it better. So there's less, you know, like if you eat a steak, there's probably a lot that your body's just getting rid of.
Yeah, you're paying top dollar for.
And it's hard to
more than
and
you need.
it's costing more in digestive energy to digest a steak as opposed to a bowl of lentil
And it's
soup.
probably generating more global warming because of all the animal farts.
Yeah. I mean, there's
It does contribute. They say that the methane from animal houses affects the ozone layer. Anyway, there's just too many of us, that's all. We're on a good planet here, and there's just too many of us. Just imagine if the aliens came, there'd be even more people here.
We'd have to eat them.
Believe it or not, it's still working. Come this way, please. Come this way. So, sorry, you were saying your next marathon is Aspen?
Aspen, Colorado. Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountain High.
Yep.
Wow. And how are you getting there, and pray tell?
We're gonna drive.
In your Winnebago with the satellite hookup
Yep.
and the e-bikes on the back?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you will. You'll have to get a Winnebago just because I fantasized that you had one.
Yep.
Anyway, this way, please. Now, all this plane activity has landed in the harbor, and that one was the first one that we saw land, and his buddy is right behind him. And they're charging about $150 a person in those planes
Oh.
to come across. I think businessmen probably get a special rate.
Yeah.
Frequent flyers kind of thing. But my brother, when he came visiting, he took the whole family on one of those on a sightseeing tour.
Oh my goodness.
A bit like when you were in the islands, when you went from one. Was
Yeah.
it St. Kitts, you said?
We went from St. Thomas to St. Croix.
St. Thomas. That's an American island.
Yeah.
That's the American.
Yeah. American Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Wow. And what's the status there? Do you need a passport to get in, or just...
No.
No?
I think you do now.
Do we?
Yeah, I think you do now. That changed the year after the last time we went.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's just I really don't know, but I remember the travel agent we had.
Could be
I
the
asked
global
her-
warming. Maybe that's why. They thought it's getting warmer. We better ask them to bring passports so they can
Have something
fan
to
themselves.
with.
This place, when you come into Winnebago, right? If you just want to park in the back, you can stay in this wonderful hotel of mine.
Ooh, weird.
The Delta, you see,
Ah,
Marriott.
ah,
I want to show you these totem poles. You'll see them on the way out again. This is the view. There's one of the fast ferries. That one is Victoria to Vancouver. That catamaran
Oh, okay.
over there. That was in for repairs a few months ago. They had to replace the engine. I believe it sucked in a log and
oh gosh,
got chewed up in the turbine.
that's not good.
No, not very good for the engine. There's some geese. And those little harbour ferries, they're cute.
Yeah.
And they normally have retired ferry captains and people like that for skippers. And they're more keen that they learn all the tourist information than how good a sailor they are, because it's not exactly rocket science to drive one of those things. It's not that difficult, and it's other than people landing on your head.
Yeah.
This is the crunch point right here where it's narrow. The planes all come in, land just along here. And that's new. I hadn't noticed that before. The green marker for the entrance of the harbour. You'd have a red one on the other side, I believe. Oops. Watch out for goose poop. Well, this is a bit of a rustic trail run that I'm taking you on here, guys. Do you think you can get up there, Holly?
I think so.
You sure? It's a well-trodden path. There is a sort of a easier way around there. But this is a bit like Mount Doug. When I go for a run on Mount Doug, there's sections like this that will slow down even a mountain goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
You see?
Yeah.
These are original totems. I guess you get totems where you are, don't you? You get what's it called now? Salish, coastal Salish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Native carvings, but that's pretty characteristic. Coastal Salish, I believe. That's the local tribe. There is a sign here that will explain everything. There. So we're back on the air with just enough time to say goodbye to Holly and Larry. And this wonderful girl, Gracie. Gracie, you want to pant a little bit for the microphone? All right.
She'll sniff.
So that's the Running Jackals show for Sunday, but today is Monday.
Monday, right.
Because of my ankle injury, I wasn't running, so I thought, well, they don't want to hear me walking again, so I'll save it for when I'm seeing my friends. And that's what I did. I saved Sunday's show for today, so I can have somebody to talk to.
Very good.
Other than complain about my sore ankle. All right.